Hey everybody, it is week 9 in that fantasy football season, and we got them Draftkings picks right after this. Welcome back everybody. I hope you had a fantastic week 8 and an even better Halloween and got all them treats for yourself. We had a great week 8. Again, Yahoo taking home a victory. We are in second place, a strong second place, and looking for them playoffs right now and building. Hope you guys got some wins out there too as well. But it's week 9 and it's time to take home some money in Draftkings. I got a good GPP lineup ready for you. But before we get to it, let's get litty titty baby. Cheers, beautiful people. Now that we are nice and fresh, let's go and start with the quarterback position. And right off the bat, we're going with Derek, you can drive my car. Because this guy has been solid in the last couple weeks. He's finally getting comfortable in that system. He's chucking the ball downfield, and Ty Williams is back. Darren Waller's catching balls. They have a nice offense, and I think this week against Detroit, they're gonna have to show up with that offense. And again, Detroit gives up a lot of air yards, so expect Derek Carr to put up a nice number. And at a nice value here, at 5,500, that's good to start your lineup and really get these running backs that we're gonna talk about into your lineup right now. This week, running backs, man, I'm telling you, it's tough out there to see what's happening to some of them, but we're gonna have to go heavy on some of these guys this week and spend a lot of money because they have some awesome matchups, and I really think some of these guys are gonna blow up again this week. That being said, first up, Dalvin Cook. Dude is serving up people this year. Dalvin Cook is a serious man amongst boys, and really he should be in your lineup every week if you can afford him. Now this week he is very pricey at 9,500, but McCaffrey is 10 grand. So if you want to save 500, you go with Dalvin Cook and build your lineup around him because he has KC, and let's be real, it's going to be a shootout probably in KC, just like we saw with Rodgers the week before. Expect a lot of balls in the air, but also expect them to try to control the clock with KC and pound with Dalvin Cook. Next, we have to go with the guy in Green Bay that's been tearing it up the last couple weeks, and he's really been at the top of the charts, and that's Aaron Jones. Why has he been at the top of the charts? Dude's catching balls out of the backfield at a high level. He caught 6 balls last week, and you saw what he did with them. Took a screen pass to the house. He took that nice ball, man. I'm telling you, this guy has some pretty good hands. Yes, he blew that big play a couple weeks ago, which cost him some time. But this week, I really think he's regained that rapport with Rodgers and that they're really gonna go back to work together. He is a little banged up. Jamal Williams does cut into that load, but when you're catching 6 to 7 balls a game, I really see a high ceiling for you. Since this week we have 3 running backs, we're gonna talk about the next one right now, and that is David Montgomery in Chicago. I talked about him in the draft special. I thought he was gonna be a beast in the first few weeks. He was, and then they started going away from him. But last week they realized if they want to stay in games, Montgomery is the best guy on the field that you're going to have to get involved in that offense. Trubisky is meh at best, but I really feel like Montgomery is going to have to handle the workload to cover for Trubisky's shortcomings this week against Philly, who do have a pretty solid defense. Montgomery is going to have to catch balls out of the backfield, which he can do. Same with Tyreek Cohen. So expect Montgomery to have a nice 10-point day, but we really expect this high ceiling from him, just like we got last week at a 15 to 25 point range. Now before we get into those wide receivers, smoke with me, baby. Gotta get a fresh one. So this week in the wide receiver position, I decided to go a little weaker. Obviously, because we have Dalvin Cook and we're trying to fit in some beasts in our lineup at the running back position, we're gonna have to get creative with the wide receivers this week. So first up, I'm going right back to the game we just talked about, and that's Shawn Jeffery, because it's a revenge game. I love revenge games. I really think these guys really show up for them, just like Golden Tate did against Detroit. We really like to bet on those, especially a guy like Shawn Jeffery who has something to prove. Yes, he's the number 1 there. He hasn't had a great season, but Wentz looks for him in the clutch, and whenever they need a big play, I expect him to have a nice 15-point floor with a huge 30-point ceiling this week. Expect a blow up from Shawn Jeffery. Next, we're going to talk about somebody we kind of mentioned briefly before when I was talking about Derek Carr, and that's Ty Williams, the Gazelle. This guy is a solid wide receiver, and when he's on the field, best player. He's caught a touchdown in every game he's been on the field this year. He's catching 90 yards or plus. I think he's a solid wide receiver, and being a number 1 in that offense next to Darren Waller, who gets a lot of attention these days, I think Tyrell Williams is going to have another big day. if he's healthy. He has a questionable tag. Make sure to check up on game day. But if he's fine, roll with him against Detroit. I think you're going to like the outcome of that game. And lastly, at the wide receiver spot, I didn't mention him last week, and I've been really high on him the last few weeks waiting for the big blow-up game for DK Metcalf, and it finally came. When you watch him play football, he is just Calvin Johnson-esque. You throw the ball up to him, dude's gonna grab it. He is so much bigger than everybody else. He has amazing hands, and I think Russell Wilson is finally seeing the fruits of that. So expect him to catch another touchdown this week, maybe 2 if they're gonna do the same thing they did last week. But I really think they're gonna have to involve him more in the offense considering what he has behind him. So make sure you slide DK into the lineup this week at $5,700 and a touchdown coming to him. That's a great value, and that enables you to get some of these nice running backs in, and also going cheap with the tight end that we will talk about right after our smoke break. Now let's look at the tight end. And today, this is gonna be a questionable tag as well because the other guy is Chris Herndon. If he's starting, you're starting him. But if he's not, you're starting Ryan Griffin. Why are you gonna start Ryan Griffin? Sam Darnold throws to tight ends. That's all he throws to, that's all he likes. Anytime they're on the field, expect a big day. Ryan Griffin is at 3,400 this week. If he is starting, you're starting him. Expect another nice day out of him. Even if he comes up with the 15 points, that's what you want. Tight ends have been a shit show this year. You can't guess who's gonna blow up on a weekly basis. So you just look for that consistency, and I think any Jets tight end is going to give you that consistency you need at a cheap value to slide into this lineup. And lastly, let's get to that defense. And this week we are going to go with the Carolina Panthers. I really think they need to bounce back, especially after last week's demolishment by the 49ers. That was the worst that the Panthers have ever been beaten. I don't think that sat well with the Panthers and Luke Kuechly, considering they are a defensive organization at the core. Tennessee is not somebody that puts up big points, even though Ryan Tannehill is chucking that ball. I really feel that he's gonna overchuck this week. It's gonna be a 3 interception type of a game with a few sacks, a couple turnovers, and maybe an INT return for a touchdown. So the Panthers are a nice play this week, especially with all the other teams out there like the Bills, at $3,800. I really think saving $1,000 and going with the Panthers is going to give you a similar value than you're going to get with the Bills. So enjoy what the Panthers might be able to give to you this week and solidify a nice concrete floor for your beautiful, beautiful lineup, people. And there we have it. We have another lineup that is possibly going to get us into the money in GPP. Obviously, it's going to cash out. Obviously. Did last week, did pretty well. The lineup that I gave you shit the bed, but I had a couple other lineups that were really great. I might start posting my other lineups to my story if you suggest, or I'll just text them to you or DM them to you. If you're asking for them, just let me know. I'll get you the other lineups, not a problem. Thank you guys so much for always watching. You guys are awesome with your support out there. Love all the football chatter that we have. I hope your lineups are kicking ass out there. And if you ever need me to fix your lineups, I might need you to fix mine. So let's talk and keep the conversation going. Before I get out of here, it's time to dab and celebrate the week ahead. So I got some mulatto sauce. This is a very rare strain, high indica, and damn! And of course, she's gonna be taken out of Cardi B. Thank you guys so much for watching again. I really appreciate you. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe that mofo. I hope you guys stay beautiful, keep doing what you're doing for the community, and most importantly, stay lit.